In this video, we're going to look at the following problem. Evaluate the limit as h goes to 0 of the square root of 16 plus h minus 4 divided by h. And we can see really quickly that just plugging in the value 0 is not going to work here because we would right off the bat get division by 0, and that's no good. So we're going to have to do something else. And the trick here is we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate of the top. Now, the reason I know to multiply by the conjugate is I have this square root that it's really hard to deal with here. So multiplying the top and bottom by the conjugate will make it a little bit easier to work with the top of this fraction. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by the conjugate of the top, which is the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. And on the bottom, I'll also multiply by the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. And notice that all I'm really doing here is I'm multiplying by 1, which is always okay to do. So we will go ahead and multiply this out. And when I do, hopefully, life will be better for us. So we've got the limit as h goes to 0 of the square root of 16 plus h times the square root of 16 plus h is just 16 plus h. And then I get square root of 16 plus h times 4 minus 4 times the square root of 16 plus h. Those two terms cancel each other out, so I don't need to write them in. And then I get minus 4 times positive 4, which is minus 16, divided by, I'm not going to multiply out the bottom. I'm just going to leave it as h times the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. Okay, now you can see that the top is 16 plus h minus 16, which is just h. So let's rewrite. If we rewrite this, we get the limit as h goes to 0 of, on top, the 16s cancel, and I'm just left with an h. And on the bottom, I get h times the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. Now I have a factor of h on top and bottom, so I can go ahead and cancel the h's. I'll do that. When I do, I get the limit as h goes to 0 of 1 over the square root of 16 plus h plus 4. And the goal here is I was trying to get this thing into a form where plugging in h equals 0 will no longer give me division by 0. But you can see we've reached it, because now if I plug in that h is 0, I'm not getting 0 on the bottom anymore. So I can go ahead and plug in that h is 0, which would give me 1 over square root 16 plus 4. In other words, this is 1 over 4 plus 4, or 1 over 8. So the limit as h goes to 0 of the square root of 16 plus h minus 4 over h is 1/8.